Hi, it's Therese in Lostinpaper, and today I have some no-line colouring to share with you today. It's a colour with you video, and I'm using my favourite cake stamp of all time. This is from Concord and 9th, and it's called Happy Day. Now I'm using a really light coloured ink for the no-line colouring. It's because actually there are lines. It's not like it's no lines, there are lines, but the technique means that you really can't see the lines afterwards. But I actually had some black ink still on my stamp. You could probably see it. For some reason I didn't see it, and it's probably darker than I would have liked, the outline of the stamp, but you know, I'm just going with it. The reason that I stamped it out in the Misty is because it's such a big stamp. And the second reason I stamped it out in the Misty is if I don't like the way I colour it, I can always restamp over the top with a black ink, and that will put all those lines back in there, and I might be able to save my image. But as it turned out, the no line, or nearly no line colouring worked fine. Alright, so I'm using lots of different Prismacolor pencils today, and I'm not using any Gamsol to blend. I'm just allowing the pencils to blend with themselves, just not pressing very hard on the image as I'm colouring. The cardstock that I'm using doesn't have a lot of tooth to it, so if you add too much pencil to your cardstock, then you lose the tooth of the cardstock, and then you can't add any more colour. So you can you might have done this yourself when you've been colouring. You've noticed that it just really is impossible to add any more colour. I mean, I know I've noticed it myself, but I'm learning over the years, and I just love to colour, and I find it very relaxing. I also have some photos to share of my trip. I'm still travelling around Australia, and I have some photos to share at the end of the trip, which is part of our four-wheel driving. I haven't been around a lot lately, and that's because we've been out of range of everything and doing lots of travelling and lots of four-wheel driving and having a blast. So I have included some photos at the end if you are interested. So I'll leave you with the colouring now, because this does take quite a while. I don't share all of the colouring, but I share some of each portion, because some of it's actually doubled up, because there's, you know, 4 flowers that I've coloured pretty much the same, and the cake is 3 layers, and they're all pretty much the same as well. Okay, so I'll be back when all of this is done. Now I do come in with my black pencil at the end, and I've added some shading. Not all, I haven't drawn all the lines of the images in at all, but I did add the stamens of the flowers and actually some extra shading, which I think gave it a bit more depth. I have some of the, now these are kind of like the sparkler images out of the same set, and I'm stamping a few of those on the front of my top fold card. I'm using a couple of the different greys from Altenew, and then also, I probably didn't even need to stamp this, it's not the stem of the actual sparkler itself in, but I did. But you probably wouldn't have even really noticed it. The sentiments from the same set, I'm just stamping that out with some Onyx Black ink straight over the top and adding some confetti sequins, a confetti mix sequins from Pretty Pink Posh with some matte medium just to the center of each of the sparklers. And that's my finished card for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Hang around if you want to check out the photos of the Gibb River Road, which is in northwestern Australia. Absolutely amazing, stunning place, and I'll be back again real soon. Bye.